What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle. My name is Blitz Link, and I'm here with Dan Loya today. Dan, week eight's approaching. We're at the halfway point of the season, and Thursday night football is over, so it's finally time to hit on some picks in this slate of games here. And we're going to start with the Jets versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And this one's interesting just because we don't know who's going to be officially announced as a quarterback for the Jets just yet as of recording this video, but we do know that, Cincinnati has been moving the ball a little bit better. Things are trending in the right direction. Dan, what are your thoughts on this matchup entering it?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, after Thursday night, you got to take the Bengals here because they're
Yeah.
just riding high right now with that offense. It's like I really wanted to take the Jets, but I don't know who's starting. I think Tyrod gives them a better chance to win, but I know he's dealing with an injury right now as well. So I'm just gonna take the Bengals because their offense is a lot better. The Jets haven't scored a touchdown in 8 straight quarters. They've given up 5+ sacks in 3 straight games. So I just can't trust that offensive line for New York. I know it's Cincinnati doesn't really have a great offensive line either, but they have weapons on the outside. The Jets are going to be without Garrett Wilson. They're kind of limping into this. I know the injury report. The last I checked, Sauce Gardner was hurt. The Jets had a full list of injuries, so I'm just going to take the healthier team in this matchup, and I'm going to take the Bengals.
Yeah, the team that's hasn't won a game yet this season is the unhealthy team, and it doesn't look like it's going to get much better. Joe Flacco and company found something that worked in Cincinnati, and they ran the ball effectively. I think the Bengals are going to
Yeah,
cover in this game, and I do think Chase Brown, for the first time since week one, finds the end zone, Dan. It's going to happen. I think that they'll
there you
be
go.
playing with a positive game script, and they'll be able to run the ball effectively like they have the last 2 weeks. So I think the Bengals are going to win that game. Let's head to an interesting one, and I might change my pick before kickoff. Eagles versus the Giants. AJ Brown is officially out, and I know you're going to mention the stat with the Eagles record with AJ Brown out, but it is very interesting to see what's going to happen. Obviously, the Giants took it to the Eagles last time they played 2 weeks ago. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
entering this matchup?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be another. It's gonna be a great game. I think you just gotta tell it how it is. The Giants' offense is completely different with Jackson Dart. They scored 30 points back to back games with him under center. They have a 2-2 record with Jackson Dart, so they're completely different. But the only thing that's kind of catching my eye here is the Eagles are the first team to see him twice. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be curious what Vic Fangio does with his adjustments. So with that, I know. AJ Brown is out. That's a huge loss. Shout out to our guy Steven from Stefan from Blitz here. He says the Eagles are 2-3 record with without AJ Brown. So I thought it was a lot worse, but that's not too bad. Uh this has to be a big game for Saquon Barkley. It's got to be. You got to rely on him. I thought he was going to have a better game on that Thursday night. He didn't. This is a game you got to rely on him. Philly's offense has scored under 21 points 3 straight games. Hurts has been kind of getting rolling here. He's thrown 283 straight. He's on the year 11 touchdowns, one interception. It was against the New York Giants defense that Thursday night. I just think this is gonna be a tough game. The spread's a little high for me, but I'm gonna take Philadelphia in this one.
Yeah, I think the spread difference is the Eagles are at home this time, and I think it's going to be tough for this Giants team as a younger team to see how they respond after that loss from Denver last week where they completely collapsed. And I think you're right. Vic Fangio getting a second look at this New York Giants team will help with some of their adjustments on the defensive side of the ball. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a high scoring game. I like the under in this matchup. I do think Cam Scatterboo finds his way to get in the end zone, but on the Eagles side of things, I actually do like Jahan Dotson player props in this one. I think he could be a guy that steps in and has a decent day with AJ Brown out. I know that Jalen Hurts, the box score numbers looked really good. He hit on 3 deep throws last week. Good for him, but it wasn't much different in terms of offensive success throughout the entire game, except for those 3 plays. So with the Eagles, I have my hesitance, but I think their defense is going to be the thing that ultimately winds up taking over this game. I think they're going to make the adjustments necessary, and I think the Giants might struggle after a deflating loss last week to the Broncos, and the
Yeah,
momentum is going to carry over. So I got the Eagles. I don't know if I love them to cover, but I do love them in terms of a game pick, and I think potentially pairing it with a touchdown. Dallas Goddard had a big game against them last time. Should be a nice game there. 49ers versus the Texans. It is a defensive coordinator battle of the former 49er, D'Amico Ryans, and you're going to have an interesting one here because Brock Purdy's once again out. Ricky Pearsall's once again out. The 49ers have not been at full strength. It feels like the entire season. Same week, injuries. Are they going to win another game here, Dan?
Yeah, it's just my thing. My takeaway for this game is buckle up your chin strap because these guys are gonna be beating the hell out of each other. Just another like just dogfight right here. Two solid defenses that just play with like reckless abandon, man. They'll run after it. These teams are gonna fly to the football. It's gonna be just a defensive battle. I don't know what the total is. Take the under. The thing about this game is Houston's offense. I do not trust it. They looked awful on Monday night. It's a short week. They played really late on the West Coast, so they got to fly back to Houston for this one. So I think that's going to take a toll here. But their defense will have to win this game. If they get a pick six, strip sack fumble for a touchdown, that's what's going to flip this game for me. But at the end, I took the 49ers. The 49ers are 4-1 all time against Houston. I know it doesn't matter, but I like looking at this stuff. Houston's offense has been under 20 points in 4 of the last 6 games. San Fran's defense has given up about 19.7 points per game. That's 7th best in the NFL. I just My key to the game is so far this season, Houston is 0-4 in one-score games. 49ers are 4-1. That comes down to coaching. The 49ers just know how to win these games, and this is why I took him. It's a close game, and I took San Francisco.
Yeah, I think that they finally got their running game back, and it looked like
Yeah.
they went away from what their nature is, which is zone type of running schemes, but they went more gap schemes last week, and it worked out very well with McCaffrey, who had a very good day against a tough Atlanta Falcons defense. I think the pass catchers are going to have a hard time with Stingley and Lassiter at the secondary. I know JSN had a big performance against them, but that's JSN. The one guy that I look at in the 49ers that was quiet last week and is going to be in for a solid day, it's George Kittle. National Tight End Days, Dan, is
Yes.
coming up, and I am going to
There it
be
is.
throwing a lot of bets on tight ends this weekend. That is for sure. George Kittle is falling into the end zone in this matchup. Like you mentioned, I think the under is going to hit. One of the interesting parts, though, I think where the Texans could be sneaky is that the 49ers have the lowest pass rush win rate since week 4. So I know their defense has been really good, but the Texans, their biggest problems are offensive line. If they are able to hold and maintain, even though Nico Collins looks like he's out of this matchup, right? It's going to allow them to move the ball a little bit more. So while I think that it's going to be a low scoring game, there are opportunities where Houston could potentially work into this matchup.
Yeah, that's it. Hang on, real quick. That's a great point too, because like you said, they're without Bosa, and then another big loss for the 49ers is the guy that's been stepping up is Bryce Huff, and
Yeah.
he's out this week too. So that's a good point. We know the Houston can't block up front. Will the 49ers be able to take advantage of it? We'll have to watch and see.
We'll have to see. Maybe the Texans can cover. All right, Bears versus Ravens. This is a massive game for both sides. Right, Chicago is now 4-2. They've won 4 straight, looking to maintain that path, potentially knocking on the playoff door later this year. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson is officially questionable to play in this game. He's logged some practices this week. I think he's going to go. The spread suggests that he's going to go. Derrick Henry is coming off a 120-yard performance. Their defense is getting healthier. Dan, who is winning this ball game?
Uh, I mean, I'm nervous, but I went on a limb here. Here's my reasoning. The Bears
Mm,
are on a four game win streak. In this streak, they've scored 25 plus points in all these games. DeAndre Swift, who I know is on the injury report right now, he's got 100 games, 100 rush yards in back to back games. He's looked good. They started to get that run game going. We know Ben Johnson wants to do that. My big thing is Chicago right now in the NFL is first in turnover differential. They lead the National Football League with 11 interceptions, which is awesome. And then they have to add on to that, they have 4 forced fumbles. So in this win streak, their run game has been good, and so has their defense. So if they continue to play like this, they're going to win this game. I know Lamar is expected back. With Lamar, the Ravens are a different team on offense. With him, they average about 33 points per game. Everything's better with him. We all know that. But I just don't trust this Baltimore defense, man. Even when they were healthy, they struggled. Uh, I just like the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears here. I know this is what scares me. We're going to see how well coached this Bears team is because we know Baltimore's going to be coming after it. They're desperate. They're 1-5. They need this game. They basically got to run the table here. So we're gonna see how well coached this Bears team. But I'm going to trust Ben Johnson, and I'm taking them.
mm. I am not taking your pick in this one. I'm going with Baltimore.
Let's
And
go.
I think that while the concerns with the Ravens defense are real because we haven't seen them perform very well this season, right? My biggest thing with them winning this game is the guys they're getting back on offense and Lamar Jackson, right? They are going to absolutely shred this Bears defense. And I know you talk about the turnover differential, but they're going to be missing Jalen Johnson already,
Yeah,
who's been out the entire year. They're going to be missing Kyler Gordon, and they're going to be missing Stevenson on the outside. Their top three corners are out of this game, right? And their run defense is already, it's been better the last 2 weeks, but it's
yeah,
by no means one of the better units in the NFL. So a team that doesn't necessarily see the Ravens very much, Dennis Allen has not coached against the Ravens very much, they're going to be able to do what they normally do well. Todd Monken is going to be able to scheme up some stuff offensively. And my biggest thing is the Bears, it feels like a lot of their drives end in self-inflicted wounds, or that is Caleb Williams overthrowing a receiver, missing a read, whether that's a guy missing a block, whether that's a penalty. They keep settling for these field goals. Field goals are not going to beat Lamar Jackson. And I think this week the Bears are going to learn their lesson in that regard. And I do think they'll move the ball fine, but I think their field goals instead of touchdowns are not going to beat the Ravens. I absolutely love the over in this one. I think the Ravens are going to score 35 points, and I think the Bears are
there
going
you
to
go.
score 24 points in this one. So I have the Ravens covering. I like the over. And if you're a betting man, I think Zay Flowers is going to be in for a big day against the Chicago Bears secondary that is beat up right now. And Mark Andrews is a
Like it.
name to watch too. Mark Andrews on National Tight End
Tight
Day.
ends day.
Tight
Yeah.
ends day. Always gotta mention the tight ends. This is a matchup I don't love the tight ends in. Browns versus Patriots. This is a good test for New England, who has basically had a cupcake schedule defensively to open the year. This will be a good test for them on the offensive side of the ball. But I still got the Patriots in this one. I think that they are rolling right now. They're very well coached. Their run defense is their best thing on defense, which is what the Browns do best on offense. That plays in their favor. I think the under is going to hit. I don't think the Patriots offense is going to be nearly as effective and efficient as it's been to open the season, but I like the Patriots to win this game. And if I am betting on a player prop, I'm probably avoiding all of them this game. I would not throw any player props in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's gonna be a tougher game for New England on offense. I know they're kind of riding high. They scored 23 plus in four straight, but I worry about their offensive line. They've given up 100 quarterback pressures this season. That's ninth worst in the NFL. They got the fifth worst pressure rate, and they're giving up about 3 sacks a game. And they got to welcome this front in Cleveland, who we know is going to be getting after it. Miles Garrett. I think the matchup of the day is Miles Garrett versus the first round pick Will Campbell. We're going to see how he holds up. I know Josh McDaniel is going to have a game plan for him, for Drake May to get the ball out quick. But this Browns defense is going to be tough for them to move the ball against. But my thing is, I don't trust this Browns offense to be able to move the ball on the other side. They're not going to be able to run the ball. New England's been really good against the run this season. Uh, so with that, I took New England. The record in close games, New England is 3-2, Cleveland is 1-2. So I just took Cleveland in this matchup. Or sorry, New England.
100%. So it looks like New England moving on. Let's talk about two games where we don't think they're going to be relatively close, but could be frisky. The Buffalo Bills versus the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins versus the Atlanta Falcons. Dan, talk about these two games for me real quick.
Yeah. So first, the Bills. I think the Bills game is going to be all fun. I think it's going to be closer than people expect because the Panthers can run the football, and we all know the Bills can't defend that.
Yeah.
The Panthers are riding high. They're going to be without Bryce Young, but they won 3 of 4. Uh, the Bills are giving up 5.4 yards per carry. That's the league worst. Uh, also, yeah, the Panthers are pretty underrated against the run. We know the Bills want to run the football with James Cook. The Panthers are top 8 EPA against the run. They're giving up about only allowing 3.4 yards per carry. So they've been pretty strong up front. So that's kind of the recipe for success here. You stop the run, make Josh Allen beat you. He can do that. I think my big thing here was Sean McDermott following a bye week is 8-0. He's undefeated. So I think that's a big thing here. So that's why I took the Bills. I think they took that bye week to reassess their offense, and hopefully they look different. But I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be closer than people think, so I took Buffalo. Also Miami, you said?
Yeah.
All right, let me. I think this is gonna be a big Bijan game. Sorry, I gotta find my notes here. Feed Bijan. Miami cannot stop the run. 3-game losing streak. Their only win, Miami Dolphins, was the New York Jets. That didn't age well. Tua back-to-back games with 3 interceptions. Do not rush. Do not blitz them. Just rush 4. Your defense is fast. Trust your front 7. Atlanta's defense has 6 interceptions this season. That's top 10 in the NFL. Give me Atlanta.
Yeah, well, I think, the biggest thing in both these games is going to be run the football. Obviously,
Yep.
Atlanta, I think, is going to have an advantageous matchup. Bijan might go for 250 yards on the ground in this
Big
one
gamer.
against the Dolphins, who are the worst rush defense in the NFL this year. He's going to be able to feast. I want to see Michael Penix against a favorable team. Have a nice day. Let's build on a little bit of confidence and see if they can take this thing and run with it in the second half of the year. They're a great matchup. I don't see a world where the Dolphins win. If you are betting, I think Tyler Algier is a good bet on his over totals alongside Bijan in that one. Bills versus Panthers. I think this one's interesting. And I know a lot of people will talk, well, the Bills defense has struggled a lot against running backs this year. And I do like Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard's lines for player props and anytime touchdowns heading into this matchup. Buffalo is also really good in advantageous matchups on the defensive side of the ball. And this is where, over the past 5 years, the Bills defense has kind of made their money and looked really good in terms of numbers categories. We know, Dan, in the playoffs, this defense nearly does not perform at the same level they do in the regular season. And it's because of matchups like this. Buffalo prepares very well for teams that aren't necessarily super talented. They're without Bryce Young this week, right? This is a middle of the pack offense right now in terms of ranks. They had a whole week to prepare. I think Buffalo's defense is going to have a solid outing in this one. I know Taylor Rapp is out, but I don't really see a world where, even if Carolina scores 24 points with Dalton at quarterback, that Josh Allen, finds a way to lose this game. I think that it
I
could be
hope not.
close in the first half. I think it could be close in the first half, but I think
Yeah.
that the Bills will be able to pull away because they are the much more talented team. And I also believe they had the week of preparation they had heading into this matchup gives
Yeah,
them
I
that
think that's a
extra
big thing.
leg up as well. And playing in
Yeah. Hey,
Carolina
real
is
quick.
not a crazy home field advantage either.
Yeah, sorry, that's a great point about that game, but real quick, going back to Atlanta, Miami, is, Penix gonna play? Because I know he's on the
He's
injury.
questionable. There, what I've gotten in terms of fantasy is that he's going to play this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be interesting, yeah.
yeah, if Cousins go, I think I look at it as the same. They're going to run the ball a ton in that
Yeah,
game. All
feed
right, let's
Bijan,
get
yeah.
to some good matchups here in the future slate. Bucks versus Saints. The Saints have always played the Bucks pretty well historically, Dan. And last week a bunch of turnovers against the Bears. They had their opportunities, but let one slip there. Can the Saints pull off the upset against a beat up Tampa Bay Buccaneers team?
Breaking news, I do not think so. That's my takeaway here. The Bucks' 2 losses this season have been to Philadelphia and the Detroit Lions. We know those 2 teams are really good. So, I think Tampa Bay is a really good team. They're on a short week, but they're playing a banged up, New Orleans team. I think a big thing here is New Orleans just lost their center. He's out for the season. I don't know if I put his injury. I did not. Eric McCoy, since he entered the league, he started all 88 games for them. It's a huge loss. Last week against the Bears, the Saints gave up 4 sacks. That was a season high. I really like Tampa Bay's defense in this matchup. They're number 2 in quarterback pressure rate. They're 5th in quarterback pressures. I think they're going to get after Spencer Rattler and company. And then I know Banker was a little banged up. He should be all right. And just it's always a divisional game. You never know. But I
Yeah.
really trust Tampa Bay in this matchup.
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity for Rashad White in the running game to get going. We haven't seen the running game be
Okay.
nearly as effective this year, and this is a good matchup where they can. The Bears ran all over him, over 200 rushing yards last week, and I think it's a good game where you can take the pressure off of Baker Mayfield in this passing
Yep.
game and have a nice day on the ground. So I think that's an advantageous matchup. I also do want to look at Kate Otten and Tez Johnson and their player props. I like both their matchups. Saints have struggled against tight ends this year, and Tez Johnson, good matchup on the perimeter for the Bucks there. And I think with the Saints, like Todd Bowles is very good in what he schemes up. Like the pressures he dialed up last week against Jared Goff, those blitzes. I think Spencer Rattler will have a hard time matching up with those. So while the Saints have played the Bucks historically well, I'm not necessarily riding with the Saints in this one. I'd like the Bucks to
Yeah.
win
No.
this game. Um, we'll talk quickly. Titans versus Colts. Dan, this is a stat padding performance for Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's as long as they don't lay an egg, this is the NFL, but I don't think they will. The Colts offense has been red hot. I know I should have pulled this up, but the Colts offense, the last time I checked here, hang on. I know I bookmarked this. Yeah, they're first in sacks allowed, first yards per play, first in points per game. They're first in points per drive. Their offense is legit. Uh, the Colts offense is awesome. I really like them, and just we know Tennessee. They just fired their coach. They're going in the wrong direction. Give me the Colts at home.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm looking at in this game is can Tennessee show some progress on the offensive side
Yeah,
of the ball at least? I mean, you have the first overall pick, and they've looked this bad on offense.
that
It's
sucks.
time
Yeah,
for them to show some life. I mean, this is a the Jets is bad, but I feel like the Titans are a worse situation because at least they have their franchise guy, and it looks this bad right now. That makes me even more concerned long term about them. So with Tennessee, it's time to start showing some signs, or it might be time to clear house everywhere in Tennessee
yeah, you have
with
to.
how
Yeah,
things are looking. All right, let's get into the final three games, and these are all good ones. We're going to start in Denver. The Cowboys are taking on the Broncos, who pulled off a miraculous upset last week. Feels like the Broncos, Dan, haven't played good football this year, but they find themselves at 5-2, and they do have an elite defense. What are your thoughts entering this matchup with obviously the Cowboys and Dak Prescott rolling on all cylinders on the offensive side of the ball?
yeah. Dallas's offense is legit. I had this cool stat. I lost it here. Just the an interesting fact about this game. I think coming in, Denver has won 7 straight matchups against the Broncos. Yeah, so dating back to 1998, the Broncos have beaten the Cowboys 7 straight times. It's pretty amazing when you think about it. The
Okay.
last time the Cowboys won this game was week 2 of 1995 when they won the Super Bowl. So it's pretty interesting to me. Just diving into this game, yeah, Dak's coming in red hot. He scored 3 touchdowns in 4 straight games, 0 interceptions. He's not getting sacked a lot. 8 sacks, second fewest in the NFL. 31.7 points per game, first in yards. Uh, yeah, man, like you said, I really like this offense. They can run, they can pass. Just my thing here is on the flip side. Can Denver really get this going on offense? Uh, my thing here is there is a little history. I did some digging here. Drew Brees. Sean Payton versus Matt Eberflus. He's faced off twice against them in the past. So here we go. Colts versus Saints in 2019. Drew Brees in that game was 29 of 30. He threw for 307, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Kamara ran for a 4.71 average on the ground. I was like, oh, okay. That's nice to know. Maybe Bo Nix is show some signs of life here. He played him again in 2023. Sean Payton versus Matt Eberflus. It's Broncos Bears. You know who the quarterback was for Sean Payton that day? Do you have any guesses? 2023. It was in
Jameis
Denver.
Winston?
No,
Oh,
it was you know it.
wait, he's in Denver right now
No. 2023. So two years ago.
for the Saints.
Mr. Unlimited.
Oh, it was Danger Russ?
Yeah, that's it. They were 0-3 at the time, okay? They faced the Bears. You know that he made Russell Wilson look good. 21 of 28, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Can you believe that? Hey, maybe he knows what Matt Eberflus likes to do. I mean, look at those games. His quarterbacks have thrown 7 touchdowns, 0 picks. I like Bo Nix for a bounce back game here. That's my thing. Give me the Broncos. They're legit. I like their defense.
You kind of convinced me there. That actually sounds very intriguing. All right, I got to stick with my gut though. I'm
Yeah,
going
go
with the
with your gut,
Cowboys.
man.
I'm going with the Cowboys in this one. I think
Oh,
you make a compelling argument, right? Peyton might have Eberflus's number, but I genuinely am not convinced the Denver Broncos are a good football team. They have an elite defense. Don't get me wrong. They have a great defense, and they're going to be a playoff team because of that defense. It's the offense. When I posted this on Twitter. When the Broncos are trailing this year, Bo Nix looks like Patrick Mahomes. When the Broncos are winning this year, or neutral, he looks like Justin Fields. That is the Bo Nix experience right now in Denver, and a lot of Broncos
buckle
fans are
up.
scapegoating Sean Payton and the play calling and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and it being cookie cutter. It's the quarterback. Like I am not sold that Bo Nix elevates this team into a Super Bowl contender, And I think in a matchup where your defense faces an elite offense, and we kind of saw it against the Colts, is like the elite offense typically beats a great defense. And we saw it earlier this year. The Colts were able to take down the Broncos because of that. The Cowboys are healthy right now. They got CD, they got George Pickens, Turpin's back, and he's a gadget guy for them. Ferguson's looked good in his role. Javante Williams is like this Javante Williams revenge game. Uh, Basically, the Cowboys defense, who has been abysmal to start the season, played much better last week against the Washington Commanders. And I like them a little bit more than I do the Broncos. I think their offense is going to be able to score points against the Broncos defense, and I think they'll win like 27-24, right around there. I think Nix will get his. He might throw 3 touchdown passes in this one based on the matchup alone, but I think the Cowboys offense is truly one of the best units in football, and they're going to be tough for any defense, and that includes the Broncos elite defense that they have.
Yeah, I'm with you. It should be a good game. Yeah, we all know that offense can score points, so it's gonna be interesting to see if Denver can bounce back. But I'm betting they will. So let's see.
Well, we got a good one. All right. Sunday night football. Aaron Rodgers is hosting the Green Bay Packers. Dan, who are you taking in this one?
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, it is kind of weird to think about that. Aaron won a Super Bowl with the Packers against this team. Like it
Yeah.
got me thinking. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. Has that ever happened before? I don't know,
I mean, it's probably
but
happened once or twice.
yeah, it's cool. But I took. I mean, I held my breath for this one, but Green Bay. I took Green Bay. They're favorites. They scored 27 points in 5 of 6 games. Pittsburgh's pass defense, we saw it on Thursday night. It was bad. They're giving up 30. They're 31st in the NFL passing game. Josh Jacobs is riding high too. 2 TDs in 3 straight games. I just like Green Bay. I'm gonna go back to the fact that the NFC is better than the AFC. Their pass rush is awesome. We got Mika. I mean, I don't know if you caught that game last week against the Cardinals, but their pass rush looked awesome. It was Mika's best game as a Green Bay Packer. So if I would line up Parsons on the left side because I think Broderick Jones is kind of their weakness for the Steelers. And I know Aaron gets rid of the ball quick, but I want to see it. So I took Green Bay in this one. I think it'd be a close game, and I'm curious to see if like Aaron's got like one more like Hall of Fame performance here. If he's really going to be angry to play this team. So I'm
I
excited
mean,
to
yeah,
watch.
he's going to
I
need
want
a
to I want
Hall
to
of
hear
Fame
your reasoning.
performance. He's going to need a Hall of Fame performance to win this game. The Packers match up great against the Steelers.
Yeah,
Steelers are a bend don't break defense, and the Packers are just very efficient around the goal line. They always have been under Matt LaFleur, and it's been the Josh Jacobs show around the goal line. And we saw Chase Brown and Samaje Perine have really good days last week against this defense.
yeah.
I think the added rest potentially could help a veteran defense get back, but I like this matchup. And you know who I do like on that Packers offense? It is Romeo Dobbs. He's been really good this year. 8 straight targets or 8+ targets in 3 straight games. Pretty good numbers for him. I like his overs in this one on the Steelers side of things, they just don't block well enough. And I think that when their running game is neutralized and makes him one dimensional, it makes things really hard on Aaron Rodgers when his only weapon is DK Metcalf in the passing game. That's not going to be enough to beat this Green Bay Packers defense. And the interesting part about it is I think the Packers are a good team. I don't know if they're a great team because their levels of play just alternate between bad and good a lot. Like the Cardinals game last week, like Jordan Love looked really bad at times throughout that game, but also found a way to win the game, right? They're
Yeah.
a weird team right now. The Steelers are a similar weird team where we know what the Steelers are. They don't really have super high levels of play, but their floor is much higher than a majority of the NFL. So I think the Packers, this is a losable game for them, but their matchup looks great on paper right now. They should be able to handle business on Sunday night. And then the final one, Dan, Monday Night Football, Commanders versus Chiefs. Jaden Daniels is out. Looks like Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel have chances to play in this one. What are your thoughts heading into this matchup?
Uh, will you be watching this game?
Of course, of course.
See the one night they don't do a doubleheader. We're stuck with this game with no Jaden's not playing, right?
No Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, we're stuck with Mariota and Mahomes. Darn, what have we done?
Hey, Marcus
Uh,
Mariota is 2-0 as a starter against the Chiefs in his career.
that's awesome. Oh man, yeah, because yeah, you tweeted something about it too.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
one that he caught
Yeah,
that
that
touchdown.
haunts
I
me
remember
still.
that.
It still
That's
haunts
so
me.
funny. Well, the Chiefs are gonna get revenge in this matchup. Their offense has been rolling these past couple weeks. They scored 28 points in 4 straight games. Mahomes has been red hot, 3 touchdown passes in 3 of 4. Fun fact: the Chiefs are 10-1 against Washington all time. After Monday night, they're going to be 11-1. The Chiefs are by far the better team. The Commanders haven't been able to run the football at all these past couple weeks, which is concerning. Uh, that'd be good if they're getting healthy on the outside, but the Chiefs always play up to these games. It seems like every week they're in a primetime game, a primetime window. This is nothing for them. It's just another day at the office. So I got the Chiefs in this game.
Yeah, I think that the Commanders shouldn't be underestimated in this matchup. I think that they could provide some fight, and they've looked good with Marcus Mariota at times this year. It's more of the defensive side of things for the Commanders that makes me worried
Okay.
heading into this matchup. They're even if they score some points, their defense matches up very poorly against Kansas City. You have a defense that relies a little bit more on zone coverage. They're not fast at all. Trey Amos is fast, but outside of that, everybody in that defense is slower. The Chiefs are one of the faster teams in the NFL with what they can provide you in terms of what they do at wide receiver. Brashard Smith as well outside of the backfield. So I think the speed matchup for Kansas City is something that they're going to try to exploit against Washington in this one, and they'll see a hefty amount of zone coverage. And Mahomes actually has the highest EPA against zone coverage right now, which has been good
Yeah.
for that, which has been a little bit of change of things over the past few years. So the Chiefs right now seem like they've been rolling on offense. I'm trying to think of what I bet in this one. I had them minus 9.5, and I paired it with I might have paired it with a Kelsey touchdown for
Tight
National
ends.
Tight Ends Day. So I might have paired those together. But I do like the Chiefs alternate spread 9.5. So I think it's 10.5 is the line. I would go 9.5. I get a little
Okay.
value on that, but I think the Chiefs are going to handle business. And for the first time this year, we'll be on a 3-game winning streak before we get the
Oh.
annual Chiefs and Bills game in the regular season. So should
Oh,
be
oh,
a
okay. Hey, all right.
what
Is
what
this a trap game? I forgot about that. Is this a trap game? Is this the
this
dreaded?
Before next
No,
week? No,
right?
because the Chiefs don't look
Mm,
ahead for the Bills. The Bills look ahead to the Chiefs. So it could be a
okay.
trap
All
game for the Bills. Maybe the Bills spent the bye week preparing for the Chiefs.
Oh no.
Oh. All
See, I
right.
didn't think
Well, hey,
about that.
listen, we really appreciate it. Drop all of your hot takes and reactions for week 8 down in the comment section below. Hit that subscribe
Okay.
button for more Blitz Angle content. Watch the World Series all weekend long, and we will catch you guys next time.